My name is Hannah Payne, and for this week's discussion, I'm sharing how I transform my passport activity into a blended learning experience. So, for the blended learning model that I decided to use was the station rotation model, where I simply have students rotate through each station, but with the twist, each student or each station requires them to have a stamp in order to move on to the next one. So I'll briefly explain what it originally looked like and then what it is now. So originally it was going to be whole group instruction where I was going to focus on each skill within the span of 2 to 3 days. I was going to have everyone complete the task in the same order. So the first day was going to be revising and editing. The second day was just going to be focusing on grammar and punctuation. And then the last day was just going to focus on the characteristics of argumentative, which pretty much offered limited student choice or pacing for flexibility. It was more so going to be teacher centered with me leading and doing more of the heavy lifting instead of the students. So I decided that the students will have that autonomy to be able to rotate through any station with any given order, but they must earn a stamp in order to move on. And I also decided to have multiple pathways instead of it just being very one sided, which allows the students to be able to take accountability of managing their time and their progress when it comes to the learning progression station. So, this is just a brief overview of the three stations that I did have. I had a teacher station, independent learning online station, and a collaborative offline learning station. So this is what my students would see if they were to log into Schoology. I just wanted you all to see that I also embedded it into my PowerPoint for those who may have been absent or things of that nature. So if I click on here, this is what the students will see. They have a travel itinerary that has the three stations presented. The first station was the revising and editing station. This is student led, so the students will work together collaboratively to focus on revising and editing skills. I try to even make it a little bit even more real world, fun, and relatable by making the theme Chick-fil-A. So for this specific station, the students will complete each task card, and then from there, they will peer swap with whoever they're working with, and they will have to check each other's work before they can receive a stamp. The second station is the independent station where the students will be required to have headphones. They will log into their series application app and they will complete the lesson 7 using punctuation correctly. It is a writing lesson where the students will have to watch online videos and be able to input their responses um, within a certain time limit. And the thing about this station that I really love is that it automatically gives them feedback on every single incorrect answer that they respond to and respond with, and as well as the correct answer. So even if the student scores or achieve a correct answer, a right answer, they still will get feedback to let them know, like, hey, this is why this answer is correct and this is why the other ones are incorrect, which I really, really love about series. And then the last station was the teacher station where the students are hands on, they're working with me. I pulled these students who are at my did not meet or low approaches on the most recent CCA exam. And this is where they focus on the characteristics of argumentative tasks, such as hook, background claim, reason, evidence, explanation, and the conclusion. So I really like the passport activity because I feel as if it naturally just supports the blended learning aspect. It encourages the students to get up and move, take accountability of their own learning. So, for instance, if you say, "Hey, I'm going to start over here just because my friend is over there," just know like you only have 45 minutes to get these three stations done. So, in addition to it just really allows the students to just take ownership of their own progress and be able to differentiate a little bit more effectively. And I feel as if the horizontal version, in my opinion, just allows the lesson itself to be more engaging and more student-centered experience, so that the teacher is not doing all the heavy lifting, especially if you have a class full of 30, 35. This is something that you can do, to make sure that everyone is hands-on, they're doing something, and they don't have no excuse, not to be doing anything. So, and in addition, I really just like how it still allows me to keep the rigor high for my KPGT students, because sometimes they just like to do things and just think, okay, well, I done it, it's done, and they just leave it there. So being able to have different stations that are all interactive, and it just helps bring in that kinesthetic learning. So I hope you all enjoyed my blended learning station rotation model. And yeah, thank you all.